big trouble. Do you hear me? This current generation is in big trouble. This generation is in big trouble. I was sitting here minding my own business while eating my McDonald's breakfast. I usually don't go to McDonald's. Hold on a minute. Hello, Ginger. I usually don't go to McDonald's for breakfast, but I went to McDonald's for breakfast, so I decided to sit here in the parking lot briefly to eat my breakfast. And it's so much that you can observe from a lot of people just from sitting in the parking lot, minding your own business while eating your breakfast and things. And when I was going into McDonald's parking lot, the drive-through, I observed this young black girl, and it was like she was begging the two Mexican guys that work in there to open the door, and they was holding the door because they was trying to negotiate whatever they was trying to negotiate, and it was looking like she was pleading with them to come inside, or she wanted something from them, and had on them long eyelashes and looked like she had been out all night long smoking drugs, looking for drugs, whoring around, sucking dick, or whatever else. This young generation is in big trouble. And when I was leaving, it was like she was wanting to flag me down, and I wasn't even gonna cooperate. So I guess she saw the look in my eyes, and she kept it moving on to the next person. This generation right here is in big trouble. We had vagabonds in my generation, but they were nothing like this. We had crackheads in my generation, but they were nothing like this. The fentanyl, and we gotta talk about this fentanyl. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about the fentanyl tomorrow night or what, but we gotta talk about this fentanyl. The drugs have taken over this generation, and this generation is in big trouble. And I'm seeing more and more evidence of it every day. And it's only for so long that you can masquerade and mask the drug addiction and act and pretend like you living your best life, flying up and down the street on drugs, going to the, and balance it out, and manage to eat your crab legs and smoke your dope, pop your pills, or whatever your drug of choice may be, before everything start falling apart and tumbling down. And it's easy to recognize the evidence of when it started tumbling down. They can't keep their wigs up like they used to. The eyelashes is not sticking like it used to stick. The clothes is hanging off of them raggedy. Their cars start falling apart. They can't fix them because they got a drug habit to nurse every day, all day long. They start missing work. They start making excuses. They start telling lies. They start stealing. They start doing a whole lot of things that they ordinarily wouldn't do in order to keep the drug habit fulfilled. And in this city right here, I'm wondering if it's the drugs that's behind a lot of these shootings. Almost every day, it's just common now. Shooting. And it's a lot of these people that's shooting each other that staying in the same house with each other. See, they fighting over that money. More than likely, the underbelly of these shootings, especially when they stay in the same household, is money. And when it was okay at first. It was okay at first when they was smoking together and popping the pills together. It was fun at first, right? But then y'all start smoking up all your money. And then you can't keep up with your responsibilities. So that's when the arguments start. That's when the fighting starts. That's when it gets real ferocious and serious. And they don't care how thick the bond is. They don't care if you related. They don't care if you laying in the same bed together. They don't care. Those drugs have overpowered them. And they become a whole different person. And life is on the line. I'm seeing a whole lot of these young folks. And I keep telling y'all, I have already identified the problematic age group. The ones between 20 and 35 years old. Those are some dangerous motherfuckers. Okay, forgive me, Lord, for cussing. Every time you see them in the news for doing something terrible, who is it? It's the ones in their 20s and 30, early 30s. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the news reports and see for yourself. Look around in your neighborhood. You don't have to go far. And see the one. Look at the ones that's causing problems and being reckless out here in the streets. Pick a city. It don't even matter. All over America, it's the same scenario. It's the same group of people. Every city, every town, especially these urban cities where it's predominantly niggas. Yeah. And a lot of people that's non-black, they don't want to call it like it is. And I can't stand when people don't call a thing a thing. And yes, it's a lot of different races. But who is predominantly causing the problems? It's the niggas. And I don't like when I'm talking to a lot of non-black people about these problems that we're having involving these reckless and dangerous group of people that's causing problems out here for the civilized people. And they say, well, it's not a race thing. See, that's their way of having a past to not really identify who it is, because they don't want to be seen as a racist, because they don't want to, face the consequences of being seen as a racist, having a business attacked, being harassed online, blah, 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 blah. And I can call them a nigga. I can call the niggas because I don't have no sponsors. I don't have no advertisers. And I speak so unapologetically, right? And it feels good to be able to say what it is and stand on what it is. And until we address the pink elephant in the room, we're going to continuously have these issues one after another and we're not going to make any progress because a lot of people are afraid to identify the problematic group of people. And the problematic group of people know that because they feel like, well, if they don't call us out, we can have a pass to keep doing what we want to do. And I see them all the time in these parking lots, meeting up, possibly selling drugs, possibly buying drugs, possibly using drugs. Like this one over here. No tag on their car. No tag on the car. And see, a lot of times when they commit these crimes, oh, here go a duck behind me. I got a biscuit. I didn't eat my biscuit. I guess I'll give the duck my biscuit. A thick biscuit. I don't know if they eat eggs, these artificial eggs. I don't eat their eggs, McDonald's eggs. Oh, here's the duck. Y'all want to see the duck? Hi, duck. Hi, duck. Let me show y'all the duck. Hi, he's coming over here. Hi. He's so pretty. I think it's a boy. I'm going to give him the biscuit. He's hungry. That's his breakfast this morning. I'm sure he appreciates that. He's hungry. Isn't he hungry? He's so pretty and big. These heathens, he better stay away from these heathens because they'll take him home and cook him. Especially since they got their food stamps, their extra food stamps cut off last week. Ooh, they're going to be looking for him. He better find him a safe place. Because these heathens going to be looking for him, right? I love ducks. I love wildlife. They're so civilized, unlike these heathens. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, like this person right here. I was looking at this vehicle right here. No tag. No tag on the car. No tag on the car. And this is common. This is common. No tag on the car. And so when they commit crimes, you see how they... And I'm not saying that this person might be getting ready to commit a crime, but I'm just saying this is how they do. A lot of them, they'll sit around in the parking lot and watch everybody and pick out a victim. And then they'll move on you real fast. They real fast. I don't know if it's the crack in their bloodstream that makes them so fast, but they very fast. And if you got a bad back or some bad knees, you're going to be in trouble. Like me. Like me. Oh, the duck is drinking water. Now that big-ass biscuit has his mouth dry. It's drinking some water now. The duck is drinking water now. The big-ass biscuit got his mouth dry. Oh, that duck is drinking a lot of water. But, yeah. A lot of them, they do not have tags on their car like this one. Like this one right here. And so when they commit crimes, they undetected. All you can do is give a description of their car and see how many people got a red car, a burnt red car like this, old-fashioned. That's all you can tell, that it's an old-fashioned, old model, burnt red car. And then I was looking at this right here. Oh, this other duck, it's another duck done came over here now to eat some breakfast. Where is it? Oh, there they go. That's another one done came now. Look at him watching. He can't even eat in peace. He thinking I might be a heathen. That might cause him harm. He don't trust me like the first one. You see how he's cutting his eyes? He don't want to eat. He don't feel safe to eat now. Now he going to drink him some water. That look like it might be a girl, that one. But yeah, I was looking at this right here also. You see how uncivilized they are? You see how uncivilized they are? Now somebody took the time to either sit here or they was posted up at that light pole right there drinking 3 Coors beer at the bottle and a Crown Royal. So they got good and drunk, right? I don't know what they did. What could they possibly have did? Probably went and robbed somebody after they got all that liquid courage in them, and just put the bottles right there. I see a lot of this. They so low down. See, they haven't been had any home training, and they could have easily walked over there to any one of those stores or that car wash and put this in the trash. See, they low down. And this is why a lot of civilized people do not want them to move in their neighborhood, because this is how they treat their environment. This is how they do. They throw trash all over the ground and leave it all, bottles and things, and they not satisfied until their neighborhoods look like this right here. This neighborhood is declining. This used to be a nice area of town, but ever since the hood rats came with their Section 8 vouchers, they have made this neighborhood look like the neighborhood where they came from. And yesterday, when I was driving down the street, it really triggered me. I saw this young black dude, look like he was in his 20s with them plaits all over his head. I can't stand the hairstyle. And he was walking on the grass and threw the bottle of water, the empty water bottle, down on the ground. Now, mind you, he was walking towards a gas station. He could have easily walked a few more feet and threw the empty bottle of water, the water bottle, in the trash. But see, they low down. They too low down to do that, to be decent. The heathens done caused a problem. They go to fire truck. The heathens done caused some problems early in the morning. They always causing problems. Always. Always. This is what they do. But yeah, this generation right here, this is all they want to do. Drink and use drugs and drive fast, reckless. This is what they like, the reckless life right here. And most of them can't even afford this right here. They can't even afford to be an alcoholic. They can't even afford to turn up in the middle of the day. And they always want to turn up. All the time is fun time. Fun, fun, fun. They don't want to be responsible. This is what they want to do. This is why they're in trouble. They being influenced by Satan. Drinking, 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 drugging. Drinking and drugging. Not being responsible. Riding around with no tag on their car. Riding around with no tag on the car. And see, what if I was the police and I pulled in behind him and said, "Sir, let me see your license and registration." "What you pulling up in behind me for?" You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a black woman, he'll say, "Oh, you pulling me over because I'm black. You in behind me because I'm black." That's all it is. They love to use that card, the race card, to dodge responsibility. He knew he didn't have a tag when he came outside when he left home, didn't he? Didn't he know I'm pretty sure he knew he didn't have a tag whenever he left home. He knew he didn't have a tag. But here you go, out in the street. These people that don't have tags and driving reckless with warrants, no driver license, they be the main ones outside. The main ones that like to stay outside. And they the main ones need to stay inside. But they love it outside, wide open. This generation is in trouble. You can't tell them nothing because they know everything. They don't respect authority. They like to fight. They very rebellious. Very diabolical. And the queens are responsible for this. But y'all get a queen a pass and praise her for being irresponsible with a pussy and hooking up with a loser that reproduced these very diabolical, disrespectful, disorderly heathens. And now the chickens have come home to roost. All they want to do is turn up. all day and all night. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to work. Don't want to buy tags for their cars, because that's money they can use for drugs and liquor. This is what they want to do all day. Can y'all imagine? Can y'all imagine what this generation going to look like in 10, 20 years from now? If that long. It may not even take that long. I'm nervous to see what it's going to look like. And a lot of these political people, they're going to start retiring. Let's look at the duck. They're going to start retiring. A lot of these older generation, they're going to start retiring pretty soon. And the younger generation going to start replacing the older generation. Mind you, most of them not going to be qualified. Mind you, they going to replace a whole lot of the laws, the current laws. We are already in a situation where a lot of the things that used to be illegal is now legal. They gonna legalize a whole lot of reckless stuff. Yeah. And the ducks, they ain't gonna be able to walk around here safe like this, free and unbothered like they doing now. They're not gonna be able to do this because it's gonna be too terrible outside. Hello, Super V. I'm hoping that you're having a great morning, Super V. Super V, you see the duck? Do you see the duck? Now that a lot of the extra food stamps done got cut off, Super V, these ducks gonna be in trouble. The heathens are not gonna let these ducks walk around like this, unbothered and drinking water. Well, whatever. They're not gonna let them walk around like this. They're gonna be eating them. I got a feeling they're gonna be catching them, probably shooting them down in the street and taking them home, putting them in the frying pan and on the grill. I hope they don't do that to you. I hope they don't do that to you. I hope God will keep them safe. But our society is really rapidly changing. And I would like to be optimistic, but we got to face the facts. It's changing for the worse. And this generation right here is in trouble. And they are changing the trajectory of our society at a rapid rate. Whether we like it or not, they have a whole lot of influence. But God has all power and is in total control. So I'm not really concerned about it, but at the same time, I'm watching things change. And I'm watching the situation unfold. And it's really, really sad that the queens have dropped the ball and now the chickens have come home to roost. Yes, Super V. What kind of cat do you have, Super V? I like cats. I miss my cat. I had some real, real sweet cats. I don't even want to talk about it because it gets me too emotional. But just know that I love cats. And a lot of people don't like cats, I think, because they're evil. And cats are smart and they can see through your evil spirit. That's why they don't like them, because they low down and they know the cats can see through their spirit. Yeah, and read they mind and stuff. Yes, that's what I think. Yes. But yeah, wouldn't it be nice if heathens was well behaved like these ducks and cats and things? Wouldn't it be nice if they were civilized like this duck and get somewhere and sit down and mind their own business and be quiet like the ducks and wouldn't smoke dope all day and terrorize the city, stealing and being roguish, and wash themselves and clean themselves like the duck? They won't even clean themselves. And look, the ducks, they clean themselves. Cats and things, they clean themselves. The heathens won't even clean themselves. You see how quiet that duck is? Heathens can't do that. They got to make all this noise and disturb. They can't be peaceful like the duck and not bother people like the duck. You see that duck ain't bothering nobody? Just standing out here minding its own business. Ain't trying to smoke no dope or chase no drugs. Ain't worried about the bag. Going out here getting its own food. And being appreciative of the biscuit that I gave him. You see that? We could learn a lot from the duck. And emulate their behavior. You see how civilized that duck is? Not causing no problems. It would be so nice if the heathens would be more like the duck. Yes. But this generation is in big trouble, y'all. They in big trouble. And now that the food stamps, you know, they gave them extra food stamps and they cut them off last week. They're going to start begging. They're going to start robbing even more, carjacking, killing. And they don't want to work. Make that make sense. They don't want to work, but they want to take our stuff. Us that's working 2 and 3 jobs. Just like, if I can work 2 jobs, they can work 1. You going back to bed? All right, Super V, have a good day. Yeah, they don't want to work because they don't get spoiled. They feel entitled. Yeah, that's why they don't want to work. They feel entitled. They don't want to be responsible. They just want to play the victim card. Oh, I didn't have a father. Oh, I grew up poor. Oh, the white man is holding me down. How long they gonna use that for an excuse? Huh? If the duck can get out here and get his own food, the heathen can get out here and get their own food if they leave them drugs alone. But they don't want to. They don't want to leave the drugs alone, cause somebody got them started, and now they can't stop. They want to keep it going and going and going. Make it make sense. You don't want to work a job, but you wanna use drugs all day and drink all day. All that stuff costs money. But they figure they're gonna be able to steal all their life and kill for cash, and they're gonna be able to keep the party going forever and ever and ever with no end in sight and no repercussions and consequences. That's crazy, isn't it? But the heathens of this generation is crazy, and they try to make crazy be cool. And they mammy ain't taught them nothing but how to do exactly what they doing now. That's where they learned it from. They mammy. And nobody's holding the queen accountable. They give her praise for being a single mother. Even though she's not qualified. Most of them are not even qualified. And look at what all they done reproduced and unleashed into society. Just look at them. And look at this one. That's another thing they like to do. Ride around in these luxury cars. Ride around looking at me in these luxury cars. Mercedes-Benz, brand new Mercedes-Benz and things. And ain't working no job. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Where they getting the money from? To drive a brand new Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Range Rover and things. Riding around looking at me just like the one at the gas station earlier before I came over here. Now, most people, when they go to the gas station, when they pull up at the gas station, they get out and pump their gas. But a lot of times when they don't do that and they just sitting in their car looking at you from behind that tinted glass, they plotting on you. And I had a sense that that's what was happening. So I left and I said I'd get my gas after I finished eating my breakfast, because I didn't feel safe. You got to use your 5 senses. God gave everybody 5 senses. Unless you're retarded, you're responsible for not acting on your senses. So when I feel like something ain't right, I get to moving. They love hanging out at them gas stations. A lot of these reckless heathens of this generation, and plotting on people to carjack and rob and rape and murder. Yeah, you got to pay attention to your surroundings. Look at them walking around with them pants sagging. Look at them walking around with them pants sagging early in the morning and things. But yeah, this generation right here. And look at that one over there with the back end of his car all smashed in, raggedy. And they will not go to their repair shop and get it fixed. Just look at them. How they ride around with their cars, raggedy. The whole backside just fucked up, mashed in. And they leave it like that. You know why they leave it like that? Because they look like that themselves. They like looking raggedy. This generation is in trouble. Our generation, we like to get dressed up and look nice and have our vehicles looking nice. Even if we had a hoopty, we kept our vehicles looking nice. If it gets mashed all up and crashed, if it was fixable, we got it fixed. We didn't ride around with our car raggedy. Oh, but this generation don't mind. And then the inside be so nasty. Oh, when I was using the bootleg Uber, I can't tell you how many times I would be ashamed to offer a service to the public, and my car was filthy, nasty, and stinking. The carpet all nasty and dirty. And oh, I can't tell you how many times. And I was so desperate a lot of times. I just go on and get in and hold my breath and hope for the best. And then a lot of them girls, them young girls, they be offering Uber service, the real Uber and the bootleg Uber, and they be bringing their children with them. That's unsafe. That's very unsafe to put strangers in your car and you bring your children with you. And you could tell a lot of them was struggling, having all these babies by losers. They can't offer them nothing but a contaminated dingling. It's sad how they're making such horrible choices. Horrible choices. And putting their children in harm's way. While they put themselves in harm's way too. While relying on the government to pay the way. And I tell you what, if the government was to take away them food stamps in that Section 8, they'd be in big trouble. That's the only way they're really surviving thus far. That's the only way that they really making it. And then they're selling the food stamps and the children still going hungry. They still begging. It's just sad. This generation is in big trouble, you hear me? And I can only imagine what their status is going to be in the next 10 to 20 years. And I pray to God I be done saved up enough money to leave the country. Because this country is not going to be livable. I got a feeling if it's this bad the way that it is now, and then some of them might start holding office in the White House, ooh, it's going to be real bad in the United States in the next 20 years. Or less. I predict it might be less than 20 years. It's not even going to be livable. So I'm going to try to save up as much money as I can and go to a more civilized country. Because this one ain't going to be fit to live in. And it's not going to be long from now. Yes. This generation is in big trouble. Holla at your girl. Peace.